Hey, my name is Daniel, and today I want to share with you someone who has amassed a following of over 25,000 people on LinkedIn. And he's done that by consistently creating posts every single day. This year in 2022 so far, he's made over 750 posts. I think that's more than most people will do in their entire lifetime. So, without any more ado, I have dubbed him the king of LinkedIn short form, and his name is Matt Barker. And what I want to show you today is three things: how he creates his hooks, how he creates his posts using a similar structure, and the third point is how he ends it with a call to action and a way to create conversation. So what I want to do is take you through some of his posts and show you what he does so that you can apply to your own content going forward. Let's get into it. Alright, let's get into his content. So I'm going to show you three of Matt's posts that he's made, and you'll see that there's a similar strategy he uses which you can take and apply to your own posts. So the first post I'm going to show you is this one that was created 3 weeks ago, and I want to show you something interesting about the way he makes his hooks. There's a few aspects that Matt uses to make sure he can create a hook that will get you to continue to read. And one of those things is that he almost creates a spoiler type hook. So what he says by creating a spoiler is that you have to be specific and intriguing enough that someone will continue to read on. And you can see here that this one is very clear. It says cheat LinkedIn by. It's intriguing enough that you and I want to understand it. And then lastly, it's specific to the platform. You will know how to cheat LinkedIn by reading this. So you'll continue to read it, and then you'll read the rest of the post where he has 4 bullet points saying setting daily goals, limiting your time, changing alert settings, and emulating other creators. Use it how you want, not how they want. So that's a great way to hook you into read it, and you can see that he really does deliver on what he promises at the beginning. He promises that you'll be able to cheat LinkedIn, and then he gives you the action-oriented points that you can emulate in your own strategy to get this outcome, which is to cheat LinkedIn and use it how you want. That's the first post I want to show you about how he creates his hook. The second one here you'll see is that he applies a similar strategy with the hook. He says, worried your LinkedIn posts are boring to read? Use this. There again, it's clear. Are you worried? I am worried. It's intriguing enough that you want to assure that your LinkedIn posts aren't boring to read. And then it's appealing and clear and specific because he says, use this. So he's going to give you a recipe how to make sure that your LinkedIn posts aren't boring. And he's given here another list format. He says the 131 method. And this is the second point I want to talk to you about, is that we've covered the hook, and I want to show you how Matt uses his structure to get you to read it in a way that is easy to understand, and so you can apply this using your own LinkedIn content. So he gives here a similar type of format. He says the 131 method. 1 sentence, space, 1 sentence, 1 sentence, 1 sentence, space, and another sentence. And then he explains it a bit more. The first sentence should give your reader an easy start. Then you move on, and this is an explanation of what he's done. So he's almost reiterating his point by driving the point into explaining how you can use it for your own content by giving you example in his content. So it's almost like the content matrix here. It's like content inception, that he's using his own content to demonstrate how to make your own. And then you'll see after that he ends it off with a 2-sentence banger. He says, a great way to introduce your reader to your LinkedIn post with a bang. Try this on your next LinkedIn post. Any questions? So what I want to show you here is the similarity between this post and the previous post. So you'll see here that there is a hook at the top. Then he has his structure going all the way down here. And then he has a 2-sentence line at the bottom. Let's go to the previous post and you'll see he has a hook at the top. Then he has his structure, or what's in the middle, the meat, or sometimes he likes to call the veggies for the vegetarians out there. And then he has a 2-sentence structure. And then the common denominator here is that he has this little PS at the end, or here he asks a question. So that's a bit of his structure. You can see he uses a very similar list format throughout it, and it's very short form. It's not long at all. It gets straight to the value and then demonstrates that. And he's hooked you in to continue reading it. So that's the main strategy Matt uses here. He hooks you in, and then he uses a similar structure that's easy to understand and is value packed. It gets straight to the point of what the hook was saying it was going to deliver. Now, the last thing I want to show you is how he creates his call to actions, or how he ends his posts. And now let's go through this post again in a similar fashion that we did earlier. First, we have the hook. I use bullet points like they're going out of fashion. That's appealing because bullet points are quite old school, and he's saying they're going to use it like it's going out of fashion. It's a bit intriguing. I want to also know how I can use bullet points like they're going out of fashion. And then here, he once again uses his structured format where he says in a list, to highlight main points, to break up a boring sentence, to make something read quicker. And this isn't just a structure of a list, it's also very appealing in that it's almost like a waterfall. You see the first line is short, the next one is longer, the next one is longer after that. That makes it very appealing to read because in your mind, it's getting to a lot more value as you read, and as you do one line, your brain like rewards you for doing that, and so you continue to the next one. Once you finish that, you feel rewarded, then you go to the next one, and you're doing it in a very quick fashion rather than having any bullet points at the end of each sentence. Now, once again, you can see at the end of each post, he uses a 2-sentence structure to end it off. And I'll go back to the previous post in a minute, but the way he structures this is so that when you create your own post, you want to have your hook that gets people to read, you want to deliver on the value, and then he summarizes it at the end, where these last 2 lines are almost explaining the previous content before to wrap it up and give you a way to move forward. So his posts are very action orientated, and you can see that's why they do so well, is because he's hooking you. But then once he's hooked you and you click read more, he's actually rewarding you with valuable content. He delivers on what he promises in the hook line. And then thirdly, he goes to summarize or reiterate the main points. So here he says, I use bullet points like they're going out of fashion in a list to highlight main points, to break up a boring sentence, to make something quicker to read. And then he says to you, try using them a lot. I use them relentlessly, and it gives my writing flow and rhythm and clarity. So this last point here actually shows you why he uses bullet points, and it reiterates how you should as well. Going back to a similar structured post, you can see here he ends it similar way. A great way to introduce your reader to your LinkedIn post with a bang. Try using this on your next post. The first post again, he says, use it how you want, not how they want. So he keeps going back to the main point. He has a very templatized way to bring the value, but it doesn't get old. And you can see he varies the style and the format so that it's sometimes longer, sometimes shorter form. But this is the greatest way to deliver value in the shortest amount of space possible. And the last bonus thing that I want to show you is that what I love about what Matt does is that he ends it with a PS there, which says, why is American football 100 times better than UK football? And what he's trying to do there is engage conversation. So call to actions are a great way to get someone to do something. What do you want them to do at the end? You'll see here that there was another PS here which gets you to engage and to create conversation. Here you'll actually see that he ended with an explicit call to action. Any questions, comment, and then you can go below and then comment what you have to ask. And so Matt's done an incredible job, and you can see that's why he is the king of short form content. Alright, that's a brief and good overview of what Matt has done in his LinkedIn posts that are so good, and you can easily emulate that in your own content. The first thing to do is to make a hook that is appealing and engaging and that gets the reader to actually click read more. The second thing you want to do is that you want to have a structured format that is easy to understand and that delivers on what the hook promises. So you really want to deliver on what you say you're going to deliver in the quickest way possible, because people's attention span is quite short on social media, and so you want to get to the point and deliver that value. The third thing that Matt does incredibly well is his call to action, or the way that he summarizes his post on explaining exactly how to apply it to yourself, and then ending with either a question getting you to engage, or a postscript, that PS at the bottom where he says something completely unrelated, but it gets you to engage with the post and to comment. So that's Matt Barker. I highly encourage that you go and follow him on LinkedIn. He creates some incredible content. He's been producing a lot this year, but he's making some incredible stuff. So go and check him out, follow him, and you can also go and look at his content matrix. He's selling that as well on his profile. I highly recommend giving it a look. Other than that, have an incredible day. Cheers.